They'll come to a presentation or they'll read something and then they'll go, oh yeah, that makes me think, and then they'll go and eat those foods again because the connection isn't always there. So we're just trying to help make those connections. And again, what they choose to eat, what people choose to eat after viewing these presentations isn't so much of a concern of mine as thinking about what that is. And then the other thing that we really are trying to emphasize is trying to reestablish a connection to the food that we eat. Going to a farm perhaps, or trying to grow something on their own. Just bridging that gap, because right now for most of us, the food that we eat, the connection is we go to a supermarket, we pick it up. Where it comes from beyond that is completely foreign to us. And I think that if a lot of people could see where that food comes from to get to the supermarket, they would be, it would affect their choices and certainly the way they look at the food that they choose to consume.
And then the whole organic end of things. People think that sometimes, oh, I bought something that's organic, so it has to be good for me.
Yeah, and I guess to a point that would be true, but organic has its issues as well. I mean, if you're buying something that's organic from New Zealand and at the same time not buying something that's not perhaps organic, that's local, are you making a better choice for your health? Are you making a better choice for the environment? That could certainly be questioned. So we emphasize a lot, not organics, big O organics, as in terms of a food choice, but organics in terms of a way of producing food. And behind the root of organic food is a way of producing food that's sustainable, that doesn't rely heavily on pesticides or fertilizers, and that's sort of what we're talking about. Because eventually, I think that there will come a day when the food systems that we have are going to start to really suffer, because a lot of them will be dependent upon fertilizers and additives to the soil, and those are going to become increasingly hard to access. And I think that the ability of the land to support intensive agriculture is going to really start to flag in the near future, and we need to be prepared for that, and we need to start thinking about ways to produce our food that's sustainable. And especially, sorry, I'll just add, that's especially a message that's important to me, these kids. I mean, I'm doing fine, and I'm going to be okay, but I really am concerned about the future. And when I look at these kids, and certainly their children, I think that there's a lot of challenges that are coming their way, and we're hoping that we're going to give them some tools and some thoughts and the ability as citizens to be able to counter these challenges and to have their voice heard.
There's also, I was in Detroit a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said to me, it's easier to eat unhealthy than it is healthy.
Absolutely.
Where does that play in this portion of...
Well, what we're hoping that they'll do is we'll consider, why is that so? Why is it easier to eat unhealthy than healthy? And a lot of times it will be questions, the economics behind it don't necessarily make sense, but it's because a lot of times the benefit of eating healthy is more of a personal benefit, and we don't necessarily connect the benefit of eating healthy to the benefit of a healthy person, to the cost savings that we'll realize from having a healthy person when we consider the fact that in Canada we have healthcare, free healthcare, or at least taxpayer-supported healthcare, and when we have issues with obesity and things like that, and nutritional issues, we need to start making the connection between a healthy diet and healthcare at the end. And if we can do that, we'll start to understand that the healthier food, we should subsidize it. We should ensure that it's always available, because economically it makes way more sense when you consider the costs of treating just one person for cancer. If you can figure out how to avoid that person getting cancer, you can save yourselves thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars by investing it at the beginning. And as a bonus, people don't get sick. And generally, what you'll be talking about is a healthier way of producing food that's also better for our environment as well, and supports local farmers and our own people within our own country. I mean, we also have concerns that I think farmers are really struggling to make a living these days, and I personally find it troubling that the people that produce our food have to struggle. I mean, really, that should be the last segment of our society that is struggling to make ends meet. We should be supporting our farmers, especially our local farmers, and giving them access to markets and whatever they need to be able to do their job, which is probably one of the most important jobs in the world if you think about it.